Hi everyone, welcome back. So my name's Dragon44 and welcome to another trading video. Now I did do a couple of trading videos the other day which talked about many different things and different parts I've experienced within the trading world of Rocket League. So if you do get a chance, I'm going to link them in the description. Do go and check them out because again, they're very informative and good videos. And if you do like any of these videos that I've posted, please drop a like. It really helps me out. If you want to subscribe, that's entirely up to you. You don't have to, but the likes, they just help it get seen, and of course, you know, it's just gets noticed, and all the hard work put in would be really much appreciated, getting some feedback as well. Right, so this video, getting into it, is pretty much about toppers. Now, what I wanted to say is that, of course, with toppers, they are much rarer than they used to be. Now, I will say that the prices have gone up for some, maybe to extortionate prices, and maybe perhaps a lot higher than one would expect. But the reason for that is purely because when Epic Games took over and bought out Psyonix back in Season 1, or the start of Season 1 last year, of course, then what they did is they made a massive change. And that was purely that, of course, if you actually upgraded or leveled up or whatever, you used to win, of course, a topper pretty much guaranteed. Now you do not, and it's only via those lovely drops that you get, including the import and the other bits you have to grind for. So you can see in the background, I mean, what I'm doing is I'm actually buying a Forest Green Octopus topper, got him down to 130, plan to keep that for a bit and hopefully sell it in the future. Now the next one is probably the most interesting, and this guy will come up on a couple of clips, and there'll be various reasons why. So basically, this guy was a really nice player, very friendly, very helpful, and he really wanted a Catfish topper. Now obviously, one thing I will say is that, you know, he wanted it more than most, and he offered me a lot more credits than perhaps I expected. But given the values of things, I do think that the values of these toppers has risen, and especially when you're seeing like Phoenix Wings 3 and things like that being a lot higher than perhaps they once were, then of course you can kind of understand it because of the rarity. But I think people do underrate maybe you know, how popular they are. Not that I'm expecting to get, you know, 600 and a couple of items for pretty much every topper, but however, this was a really nice deal, and he was of course you know, very pleasant to deal with. But yeah, you can see that he gives me 600, he gives me a Titanium White Riser, a Fractal boost, and a money boost in the end, because actually he takes the Pigeon banner out. But still an absolute killing, because, you know, being honest, I paid about 100 credits for this particular topper a little while back, about a month and a half ago. So a nice sort of 500, maybe if I can sell the other items, maybe a sort of 600 credit profit, plus my credits that I originally paid out back. Now this was a duplicate because I already had one that I'll be keeping, Sky Blue, one of my favourite colours in games, so I'll be keeping that one. But I was very pleased, and of course, as you can imagine, you know, so was he actually. So it was a nice thing. But like I say, actually I deal with him again a bit later in the video, which I will talk about in a lot more depth. But yeah, so I mean, with trading, you know, again, I think there are a lot of opportunities to make profit. I think it is a lot of cases of buying something, selling it, timing, patience, just pretty much kind of like not always rushing to sell the item. You've got to want your quick sales. If you can line up a buy already beforehand, brilliant. But of course, if you can wait a little bit, then do that, and just wait until you need credits or you have an opportunity. Now this guy was a little bit of a different one. I had bought another item off him previously. We talked on the app for a bit. He was a bit of a harder one to deal with in, you know, what he wanted, but he was selling a Crimson Lime Purple, which is the one I wanted most, and a Forest Green and Saffron for basically 200 each. Now 200 each is not that bad, I suppose. It's not amazing, considering I think like Saffron and probably Lime probably are only worth 150, but to be honest, because I wanted the purple and the crimson one so much, I kind of paid a little bit over, but I know that there's a good reason why, which is what you're going to see in the video. So I paid 1,000 credits. I did mention about the Cobalt and Sky Blue. He'd said trade for all, so I kind of cheekily just sort of thought, oh, maybe he means them as well. He didn't. Worth a try, but you know, sometimes you've got to be a little bit cheeky in trades, not to the point of piss taking, but you know, if you can get a little extra, or just get it a little cheaper, or barter a little bit within reason, absolutely brilliant. You know, it's always the way. It never hurts to ask, as long as you don't ask for stupid prices. Or can I have a Titanium White Octane for free? or 10 credits. You're not going to get it. But, you know, as long as you're kind of realistic and you actually build some sort of rapport with the sellers, which some you can do and some you can't so much, then of course, you know, it's like anything. You can just sort of kind of barter and try there. But yeah, so I mean, basically, the sale does go through, as you can sort of see on the text, just me being a little bit cheeky, trying it, you know, just to kind of see whether he'd throw in the extra 2. He didn't, held his guns, he'd kept me waiting, he'd been sort of kind of like very blasé. I know he made profit because he said afterwards, but again, I didn't care because what you'll see later on is exactly the reasons why. So this guy is the one that you saw in, of course, the video. Now, this guy wanted Puffin Attack, really nice guy. I still speak to him actually, so, you know, it's not just kind of like something that, you know, I'm just like, oh, see you later, because I do very much, you know, I like when people in the community are really good, really friendly and really cool. Now, it may shock you, he wanted it so bad, he offered me 1,300 credits, and also some remixes, which you can sort of see. One had a cert, and he also threw in some other items as well. I think there was a couple of polyurgic wheels, if I remember. I think it was cobalt and grey, if I recall, and a couple of other little things as well. I think it was a couple of light shows. I know they were pass items, but, you know, I suppose, like anything, pass items do get sold. Oh yeah, Saffron Boost and a Heartbeat Striker, which actually is something that I may be able to use or give to a friend. So, you know, little things like that. It was a really insane deal. You know, and I think he threw in even some sort of Wildcat ears or something like that as well, and something else which I can't even remember, but it was multiple items that were put in, and it was really nice. Oh yeah, Bob's Ramen in a colour, I think, as well. So, you know, lots of little things that they were tradables as well, so I might be even able to get an import or something or sell them. So just crazy. I mean, obviously he probably did go a bit over the top, but being that these things are getting rarer and people are maybe not realising that they are as rare, I had one guy trying to tell me that they just purely people just use them for trade-ups and that they never ever sold them, and it's like, well, if you've got some catfish, don't expect kind of prices like these. I think that's unrealistic, but they may sell for actually a bit more than you expected, and you might be able to make a little bit of money. So it never hurts to advertise them on the app or just do them in a trade. So again, it's just something to be aware of, because, you know, sometimes you do find just that one person who maybe will pay a bit extra because they want it so badly, and, you know, and obviously seeing in the previous clip as well that I'd actually bought a Crimson for technically about 200. That wasn't even actually the one that I sold. I already had one, and I then bought the other one today. I got very lucky. The guy was internally grateful, so he actually then gave me a hot dog topper. I didn't have one, actually, so I was like, oh, okay, thank you very much, that's really nice. And then I then kind of give him something as well. But to go back into the trading, I think that the main things that you want to kind of be aware of is that sometimes items, you know, when you are dealing with either the app or kind of in game, there are items that maybe have a little bit more value that people don't realize. And, you know, I mean, I sold items. I sold a Cristiano wheels when I first started up the game for very much lesser than they're actually worth. I swapped them for some, I think, like purple Infinite Mandelas at the time. I didn't know. I thought they were worth like about 50 credits. Turned out they were worth a lot more. So sometimes, you know, obviously if you're coming new into the game, if you're not that knowledgeable, or you just can't keep up with the market, because the market fluctuates all the time. Now, I don't think that toppers are always going to stay kind of like at the peak that they are. It's a bit like the Dominuses, which is an interesting one, and that will be a video that I'll be doing in the future as well, because I've traded for some body Dominuses, and it's quite an interesting sort of thing as well. But, you know, like with anything, it is just pretty much like looking for opportunities. Don't go big, don't go over insane, don't go spending all your credits on one item. Never ever just go for one item. Always look at kind of like multiples, because if one item fails, you've always got other items to fall back on. And, you know, it kind of really pays into just looking around and just seeing those cheaper prices. I've said in my previous video how to do it, how to search, how to narrow things down, how to build rapport, and how to do things where you can gain a little bit extra back. And by taking that little bit of time, it really does make a difference. Now, I will say that, you know, with the guy I'm dealing with there, I gave him a purple Nightmare Fuel. It was a spare one that I had. He liked it. He said, yeah, it's really cool. He said, oh, you've done enough for me. And I was like, no, I really want to give you this as well. It's a spare. I'd like you to have it, because at the end of the day, it's just something a little bit back. It's not going to quite, work out to kind of value, but, I wanted to give a little bit back as well, because of course then he could put it onto his car, which he did, and then we sort of like talked from there. But yeah, I mean, as I say, I mean, like with anything when you're trading, you want to pretty much look at kind of a certain categories. You want to, actually take your time with deals. Barter a little bit, sure, but don't go overboard and don't go into sort of like the ridiculous of trying to underpay and undercut people, because they will not take that. A lot of people are immune to it. A lot of people are kind of sales resistant now, and also the way that the app is as well. I mean, especially if you are using Rocket League Garage, let's face it, there are a lot of people who aren't that pleasant, who will just time waste you. They will actually cut you off. They won't reply, and you've got to kind of know that if you see someone who's got an item, it is possible that they're time wasting you. So send a short message. Don't kind of spend lots of time wasting your time waiting for that one. Just move on, and if they reply, absolutely great. Just check your messages. Even if it's once or twice a day, try and check your replies, and obviously just try and get those really good deals when you are able, because it really makes a difference. In Rocket League, I mean, put it this way, when I started this particular video, I had around about 400 credits. By the end, I had over 2,000. Yes, I spent some back as well. I've been buying various things, which will be for future clips. I probably got about 400 credits left now. But fortunately, I have more items to sell, more profits to make, more things to buy. Some for me, and some for, of course, selling in the future as well. And that's where it's at with Rocket League. Honestly, sometimes you won't always make the quickest profit. It is about patience, about timing. When the market's kind of crashing and a bit low, it is always worth maybe just actually waiting it out and seeing how that kind of goes. But that is pretty much it as regards to this particular video. So I hope you found it interesting, useful, informative, and kind of a benefit. If you did like it, as I said on the video, would be amazing. And if you want to subscribe to help me out and help me grow towards that 150, allowing me to do some sort of giveaway for you guys, that would be absolutely incredible. But otherwise, until my next video, be it a trading, a gameplay, or whatever other video I can create, I will see you in the next one. You have a great rest of the day. All the best. Cheers now. Take care. Bye-bye.